Hi, I'm Joanna O'Connell. Welcome to The Road to Cannes, a Beat TV series presented by Freewheel. I'm here with Eric Levin, the President and Chief Content Officer at Publicis Media, where Eric helps clients navigate the fast-evolving digital world. Thank you for being here, Eric.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, you think a lot about the future, and as I said, then sort of navigating the complex and fast-evolving digital world, media and content,
yes,
both, right? Because
correct.
They are both so important. As we are on the edge of Cannes, AI has become an incredibly hot topic, speaking of media and content. How is Publicis experimenting here? Maybe I want to start with generative AI, just given how much ChatGPT is in the news right now.
Sure. So let me start and give you a little bit of background on the things that we have done. Yes. So it isn't new to us, I should say, right? Publicis has been investing in this for a very, very long time. The group that I lead is sort of looked at as the futures group, the what's next group. So we've been constantly immersed in this space even before it became somewhat mainstream as it is now. The generative AI conversation and innovation in general has really picked up steam, as you know, over the last several months in particular. And, you know, we, like most other agencies, have been experimenting in a variety of different ways. We were the first holdco with a partnership with OpenAI. So we've been looking at all of the different ways, the functionality, and how it can all be utilized. I think anybody, myself included, would be lying if we said we've figured it out. But right now, we're experimenting. And any number of clients and internal teams have come asking questions, looking for a POV. How will this change how we operate? How will this change the future? All of these questions that I don't know that you could ultimately answer. But I think that we have laid the foundation to strategically approach this space for both ourselves and our clients.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me you knew the answer, you're right. I would say that you were lying. I mean, it's moving so quickly, and the advancements are happening so sort of dramatically. I mean, ChatGPT was what, November?
Yes.
That it came out, and
right.
we sort of look at what's happening now.
Somebody told me the other day that it's more popular in terms of overall usage than TikTok right now.
That's unbelievable. Okay, so we will talk a little bit about how you're helping clients navigate this in a second, but let's talk about a specific use case, and this is one that's sort of near and dear to my heart as a research analyst who looked at this stuff. The use of AI in developing content, and specifically creative for advertising. I imagine that will only continue to evolve, get better, faster, smarter, and more ubiquitous. But you know, as things are being run increasingly by machines, how do you manage sort of human oversight for quality concerns, control questions? How are you guys thinking about that?
Well, it's somewhat similar, right? The first question that always comes up, whether anybody likes it or not, is legal when it comes to creative. Because my understanding early days was it was pulling from different imagery from all over the world, all over the web, some of it owned, some of it not, in generating these images. So I think at first it was, what can it do? What do those things look like? And you know, the inputs are as important as the outputs, meaning there has to be somebody there that's guiding what we're actually trying to accomplish with the technology itself. It's mind-blowing right now. I mean, I'm sure you have as well seen demonstrations of entire virtual worlds or video games or whatnot, you know, created in a matter of hours, if not less. So I think for us right now, it's really about the expertise involved in providing both the thought leadership and oversight over what it can ultimately do for clients. And I know we need to go back to the how are we guiding clients, but right now it's really about what is it, how does it operate, what can it ultimately affect, and how can we best harness it? No, I am not of the belief that it is going to replace everybody in a matter of years, weeks, whatever. I am of the mind that it will fundamentally change how creativity is essentially done, but it requires a level of input from human beings to ensure that the output is what it is that we need it to be.
I totally agree, by the way. Massively disruptive, huge amount of opportunity, replacing humanity. Certainly not for a while.
Right. Yeah. I'm not going to rule that out eventually, but perhaps not right now.
So can you talk a little bit about, I know you said you're sort of in a group of futurists inside of Publicis. How do you organize agency resources in a massive network like that to be able to tackle things, even sort of more ubiquitously available things like creative optimization technologies, safely and effectively?
Oh, it's a monumental task, right? You have people, there's 90,000+ of us that operate all over the world, and we have done our very best to centralize this group of experts and make them available in any and every circumstance that we can. Obviously, we're not going to get to everybody, but we also try to empower those that are looking for answers with some of the things that we've already created. So if we're, sort of the quote unquote center of excellence, then we can pull in all of that information and disseminate it in a way that's easy to understand for those other groups. And then for those clients or those teams that want to continue to go deeper and deeper into the tech, yes, we'll be very hands-on with them. We've set up demos, we've set up AI chatbots, we've, demonstrated different environments that can be created. So it's on a spectrum. There are those that are very, very into it, who we go very deep with and have created worlds and environments and even new things that are coming to market. And there are still others that are just asking, how does it operate? And those are the things that we make sure everyone has access to. It's my belief that as a centralized group like this, we have to help plus up what they're doing, and we are not in the business of taking the place, but ensuring they have access to all of these materials.
This feels like one of those moments where the question, just because I can doesn't mean I should, feels like it applies sort of more urgently than ever.
Right.
So how are you guiding clients? Like, what kinds of things are they asking you, and how are you kind of steering them in thoughtful directions?
So we're very careful about how we approach any of these environments. We were, somewhat joking about the metaverse early on when Facebook changed their name to Meta, and then all of these things exploded and everybody ran towards these shiny objects. And we've always been very strategic in our approach. And so we applied that same kind of thinking here. We always want to figure out, is there a strategic business challenge that this technology can actually solve for? How can we help make your business better? How can we help make our teams better by utilizing something like this, and then showing them what that could look like? So again, sometimes it's just, what kind of an impact do you predict this would have on my business if I were to, automate creativity through the lens of personalization on media plans? And we can talk a little bit about how and what that would drive in terms of efficiency and deliverables for those clients. Others, like I said, it's concepting. It's just, what could we do that would be completely mind-blowing and, out of the ordinary? We still have a number of clients that come to us and say, we're aware that the demographic we target is ad avoidant. They want nothing to do with what they see in traditional channels. What can we do with this tech in this playground that we know that they're in already, and lead us down that path?
So that's actually a great segue, because it is more challenging than ever to sort of know where and how to find and speak to consumers. So how do you think about doing that in a sort of multi-channel, multi-platform, fragmented world, sort of getting to where consumers are?
To me, it starts with letting go of muscle memory. I think on the client side and on the agency side, I think we're all guilty of that. I think, anxiety stems from the unknown, and all of these environments create that level of anxiety because you don't know what the outcome's going to be. So we'll often go in, and we would never say, don't run your linear TV spots, don't do your traditional social channels. What we go in and say is, here's an environment that hasn't been touched by your brand or a brand in your category. More and more teams are using Discord now as just one example of what that could look like. It's a massive social platform where conversation actually starts. And so if we can present to a client a strategic reason in and how they can, foster conversation and relationships within that environment, then it gives them completely different channels and ways to engage. And then we'll do the same when it comes to content. The entire content team for the last 10, 12 years has been working in platforms and avoiding linear channels, not because we don't believe that they can deliver, but all of these other areas were sort of I think not exposed
Right.
to the best of their ability. So that's really what we try to do, is demonstrate how you can reach these individuals in a completely different
Yeah,
fashion.
that's the thing, right? It does not have to be replacement. It could be additive. It might be replacement. It's
It
going to
could
depend.
eventually be replacement.
Sure, it could depend entirely on the audience. I think for a while, probably Cannes was a celebration of beautiful television commercials, and it is obviously, there's a much richer canvas that is available to brands and agencies now. But there's some really cool stuff happening in television and video.
Yes.
What are you excited about, that you see in the sort of future of a thing called TV, which is so multifaceted now?
TV is everything. Let's just start there, right?
Yeah.
TV doesn't mean linear. TV is just engagement across multiple platforms in whatever way you want to choose to watch. I think for me, what's most exciting is going back to where we started the conversation, like this conflation of Web3 and entertainment. The idea that you can bring these environments closer together. If you've seen some of what's happening out there now, where all new filmmakers, all new talent, all of these individuals now are sourcing from the community, within these Web3 environments, whether it be on Discord or even something like Decentralized Pictures, where they're sourcing ideas from the community and then supporting that community, then watching those films get made. It's now opened the door to, and I know we don't have the time to get into it, but to, look at the studio system, quote unquote studio system, through a completely different lens. And, often those same studios are exceptionally siloed and working, in more traditional means, where these guys don't have to do that at all. So I think it's only a matter of time before you see your first AI-generated film, TV show, commercial, whatever. All of it, that to me is just mind-blowing right now.
My mind is officially blown. Eric, thank you so much.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah.